I think we're live now, yeah. So, so hi everyone, and welcome to Marketing Rules Live. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I'm Fiona, marketing consultant with ThinkinCircles, and I'm joined today by the team, Chris, Kat, and Richard, all our senior team leaders. So today we're discussing a question that every recruitment business should be asking themselves. What should recruitment marketing actually be doing? So, in our opinion, recruitment marketing is often reduced to social media and content creation, which is easy to do, but it should be doing and can be doing so much more. Today, we'll explore the role it should play in supporting your business growth and building stronger brands and creating long-term commercial value. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start with the first question, which is by laying the foundations. In your opinion, team, what is recruitment marketing actually there to achieve?
Ooh, difficult question. Obviously, colouring the lines and make everything look fluffy. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That's what everyone thinks, right?
If I had a pound for every time somebody said, just make it look pretty,
yeah,
I'd have at least 10 pounds by now.
No, I think I always kind of see, and a lot of people are like a little bit skeptical around like marketing, right? Because sometimes you can't kind of measure it fully, and you know what kind of ROI does it get and things like that. And I always see that, well, yeah, I see a lot that businesses kind of see marketing as more of a cost than an investment, unfortunately. So a lot of times I think that our jobs are quite difficult, aren't they? Because we have to kind of prove ourselves and say, you know, we are necessary, we are needed. So what do we want to achieve? It's always around commercial. That's how I would like to lead anyway. And it's kind of working in tandem with sales and the C-suite and the business goals and things like that. And you know, what is it actually there to achieve? It could be a million things. So for me, it's kind of to get attention, essentially, and to turn that attention into commercial value, I think.
Yeah. I think on its most simplest terms, though, it's kind of to make that company trustworthy. You want to make it trustworthy to the external audience, easy to remember, so it's in people's minds when they're choosing which recruitment firm to pick, and that just makes them easier to buy from, doesn't it? That makes them kind of the recruitment agency of choice. So it's those core things make them trustworthy or appear trustworthy and memorable. And I think if you can, and all your marketing can achieve that, that's one of the key things.
Yeah, I think kind of like Chris said, it's that for me, it's that commercial side of it. It's you're there to achieve, I guess, whatever the business is trying to achieve. That's what recruitment marketing needs to achieve. If you're trying to open a new market, or if you're trying to expand into a new geographical territory, or if you're looking to really kind of cement yourself in your existing markets through kind of stronger brand recognition, then that's what your recruitment marketing is there to achieve. It's you know, what are the outcomes and goals of the business? It's the same for the recruitment marketing. That's what you're aligned to. That's what every kind of, you know, all of your strategy should be built around, is exactly the same outcomes and goals as the business. There might be a few kind of variations around the side, but yeah. like I think you said at the start, Fiona, it's definitely not there to just be social media and content just for the sake of it, or making things look pretty, or you know, the colouring in department, as we jokingly refer to ourselves. Yeah. It's way more. It should be way more strategic than that. Not always is, but that's what it should be. Completely aligned to the business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, question 2. Well, we've looked at the role and we've looked at the at its commercial side, but what business problems should good recruitment marketing solve? So you mentioned the commercial aspect of it earlier on, Chris. Could you elaborate on that a wee bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said earlier, go on, I'll let you say it, about B2B and B2C.
Oh,
You're on the spot here, aren't I?
and so that everybody is aware, this is our pre conversation before we have but basically I sort of said that recruitment marketing is very unique in the sense that it is both B2B and B2C at the same time. Because while you're trying to attract candidates to the jobs that your business has, you're also trying to attract the right clients, keep the current clients that you have happy, and support that pipeline of clients coming through. So it's quite unique in that respect, from a commercial point of view.
Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of problems to solve essentially, and I don't know if problem is the right word. It's kind of what are we doing to target clients? What are we doing to target candidates? What are we doing to support stakeholders within the business? What are we doing to build trust and credibility and authority within the business and the market essentially? So I think for me, marketing is there to support the flow of the business essentially. And again, like we spoke about earlier, it's what is the end goal of the business essentially? What are the goals moving towards? Is the business looking to sell within a couple of years? Are we looking to grow in a couple of years? Are we looking to expand into a new market in the next couple of months? What does that look like? And I think it's really difficult to answer some of these questions because every client, I'm sure we can all agree, is looking for something very different on what they are and what they're looking for. So to solve any one problem is difficult. But I guess, like you just said, Fiona, it is a very much B2B and B2C function, right? And supporting that process in any way that we can. So if we were looking at B2B, I guess we're looking at bringing on new clients and how does that work? How can we help the sales team in warming up cold clients so when someone's gone on the phone, your potential new clients like, oh, I've seen you here, I've seen that you sponsored this event, I've seen you on LinkedIn or whatever that may be. That is like the marketer's dream, isn't it? That someone doesn't say, oh, I've never heard of you, or they're a bit like, okay, I have no idea who you are. When someone says, I've seen you online, I've seen your brochure, I've seen you sponsor at this event, I've seen you talk at this event, that's when we kind of know that we've done a good job. So for me, it's that attention bit as well, and letting people know who the business is and who the people are as well.
Yeah.
It's not just that though, is it? Because it's about getting people to know who the business are, but it's also, if you get the marketing right, it's also about shortening the time it takes from just knowing who you are to actually trusting you.
Yeah.
To either find that hire or trusting you with your CV to find you a job. It's the marketing can really reduce that time span, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think it's that, like you say, the trust part, it's the recognition part, it's the fact that you don't have to go out to people, that they actually come to you. Either they're coming to you to give you jobs, or they're coming to you to help them find jobs, or you're being invited to more. Maybe you're being invited to pitch for more tenders. Maybe you're being invited to speak at industry events because people are more aware of you. So it's what we talk about a lot, is those inbound leads and conversations. So people are coming to you rather than you having to chase them. Obviously, if you're going to them, hopefully the marketing is making those conversations easier because they're already aware of you. The other thing I'd maybe say in terms of when thinking about business problems, and I think a lot of marketing is often very externally focused. And I think one of the ways recruitment marketers can really have a good impact is to actually look a bit more internally as well, and look at processes. So look at the full kind of client journey, look at the full candidate journey, and make sure that those are working properly as well. Because marketing can do so much to bring clients and candidates to the door, but then what happens after that point is often not necessarily under marketing's control. It gets handed over to the sales team. So where marketing can also help solve business problems is to look at that full journey, to make sure that it's a good journey the whole way through, from introduction right through to kind of completion, and that can kind of help to increase profits and revenues just simply by looking at, okay, well, there's a really clunky journey at this point, and this is where we're losing people. That's another point marketing can really help with as well.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. And I'm going to throw a curveball in there, Kat, and say, because I bet you've heard this a few times in your career, how do you deal with the this is sales, this is marketing conversation? Because it comes up all the time. And, sometimes I feel like I don't like to step on other people's toes with the whole sales process. So how do you get around that?
I think you just have to be really, really honest and say it's sales and marketing have traditionally in recruitment always worked one side over here and one side over there. And it's just about educating stakeholders and stuff and saying we need to be working like this. Sales and marketing need to be, if we want this business to be achieving the most that it can and being the most successful that it can be, sales and marketing have to be working together.
Yeah.
Because they're not separate. Marketing is bringing in and feeding into the sales funnel, and sales are closing the sales funnel effectively. So they've got to be working together. We're too, back in the old days, we used to be called sales and marketing. And then it was like, no, we're not part of the same thing. And we've got separated out too much. There has to be those, it has to be
cohesive.
Got to be cohesive, got to be part of the conversation. And for firms that are willing to do that, they're the ones that will see the benefit in that in terms of the elevated customer experience and therefore kind of the more kind of retained work or repeat work that they're going to get, because it will be a much better experience, much more streamlined.
I had it's always stayed with me, a former director I used to work for. She said to me that sales and marketing go together like a wrapper around a chocolate bar. So the chocolate bar is the sales and the wrapper is the marketing. Okay. So marketing has to encompass everything that is the sales process, from that first introduction to that onboarding, to that offboarding, et cetera, et cetera. So it's I don't think you can separate the two, and separating the two, I think, is to the detriment of your business in many cases.
Because you could be out here saying, pitching the business as we're this kind of business, and this is what we do, and this is the experience you get, and then if you just kind of go, well, that's my job done, and we're handing over to sales. They might get an entirely different experience
100%.
from what you said they're going to get. So it's got to, they've absolutely got to work together.
Yeah, 100%. Richard, do you have anything you wanted to add there?
Oh, they should work in tandem, like everybody said, really. And marketing doesn't replace sales and business development, but it should make it more effective. That's the key thing. By working together, it makes it more effective.
Yeah.
It shortens the conversion time from awareness to trust to sales, and all the things you can do via marketing during that process builds trust and faith in the business, and supports the sales team. And it's that supporting approach which will make the results better in the end. So it's working together intelligently, with awareness of the company's goals and delivering results. It will deliver the results you need.
100%. I've just noticed the time there. So if you've just joined us, we're halfway through, but this is all being recorded, so you can absolutely go back and see the first 15 minutes of the conversation. But for those of you that have just joined us, welcome to Marketing Rules Live. Today, I'm joined by Chris, Kat, and Rich. And we're discussing recruitment marketing and what it should actually be doing and how it could become a real genuine driver of business growth. So I will, with that housekeeping element put in place, I'm just going to move on to question 3. And we all have quite long careers in marketing and specifically recruitment marketing. So I think that I'm talking to people that genuinely know where do you, in your opinions, do recruitment businesses usually get recruitment marketing wrong?
Who wants to start with that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think. Where do
How long have you got?
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, this call, we only have 15 minutes left, so let's keep it
short.
Keep it short, and we still have 3 more questions to go. So
I'll go with two points. The sort of interlinked as is all of it usually. The first thing I think where businesses go wrong is not looking at it in terms of a long-term investment. I think a lot of recruitment businesses, because of the nature of the recruitment model and it's so cyclical and all that sort of stuff, I think there can be a tendency to look at recruitment marketing as a bit of a tap. We turn it on and we expect it to work. We turn it off because money's tight, and it's usually one of the first things to get cut because it's a cost. So I think that's usually where a lot of recruitment businesses go wrong, is that expectation that it just starts working immediately. And it's, obviously you can have quick wins, but fundamentally it's a long-term investment. And it's proven time and time again that those firms that continue to invest in their marketing over the long term, even through when businesses are tight, when business is tight and downturns may happen, those are the businesses that come out quicker at the end of those cycles. They're the ones that do better and succeed better. So I think kind of always viewing it as companies just viewing it as a sort of short-term, quick on-off fix are the ones that do tend to get it wrong. And I'd also say that just sort of posting content, just whether that's whatever it is, just without really any idea of who you're talking to or why you're doing it or what you're trying to achieve, it's just sort of spray and pray. I think that's probably one of the things where businesses get it wrong without doubling down first on what they want to do and achieve.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Up to.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Kat, I agree with you and what you said in terms of consistent messaging as well, and just being consistent in everything that you're doing, turning it on and turning it off, and having that constant drip as well. That just kind of goes for BD, doesn't it? How many businesses have we seen where they've got so busy that they forget about BD for a while, and then all that work dries up and they're like, oh no, we've got nothing coming in. And you think, well, that's because you stopped doing marketing when it got busy, which is to us crazy, but to them, they've got to fill the roles and things like that. And yeah, just being consistent with what you're doing and constantly doing it is one of the things I see get wrong a lot. And it's not something that is super wrong, but I see a lot of businesses that are just chasing vanity metrics a lot. Look how many likes we've got, look how many followers we've got. A big one for me is look how many people we've got in our database. And I'm like, wow, okay, great. You've got 20, 30, 40,000 people from a database that's 20 years old that hasn't been updated in God knows how long. So actually, you've got all this data and information that you sat on that is completely out of date and not relevant. So actually means nothing to your business. It's not valuable. You've probably got 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 relevant contacts on your database. And people just get so bogged down with numbers in terms of look at our followers and look at all this, that, and the other. And you think, no, always be looking at the relevancy and how accurate things are. That's what I kind of see. People are like, look at our open rate, which is okay, great. But to me, that's like a vanity metric in terms of, but what's your click-through rate? What's come from that in terms of your email marketing? So people get bogged down with the vanity stuff too much. And I think people need to be looking at what's actually moving the needle, not just what looks good. That makes sense.
Yeah.
100%. So then I wanted to follow up, because obviously the vanity metrics, it really, really does resonate with me as well. Because I come from that, I remember when PPC and on, it was like a penny a click. Now it's nowhere near that. Yes, I am that old. But my introduction to digital marketing, because it was always about impressions, but now it's about the quality of the audience that you're attracting and how you're engaging with them. So yeah, I think that is something that not even just recruitment marketing, just marketing departments in general or businesses in general get wrong. So question 4. What does good recruitment marketing, in your opinion, actually look like day to day? So in the daily, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, whatever it is, what does good recruitment marketing look like in your books? Who wants to start with
that? Basically, the complete opposite of everything we've just spoken about. Consistency is probably the
biggest
true.
Yeah.
Like consistency, which is in terms of not just activity, but also like your tone of voice, your branding, and what that looks like. So not just on your website in terms of tone of voice, right? Rich, you can kind of adhere to that because you do a lot of the techie side around websites and things. And, it's looking at that and how that is kind of put across everything within your business, from your website and your tone of voice to your LinkedIn or your social media and the tone of voice around that, to the brochures, to the ways that your salespeople on the floor talk on the phone. Like, are there certain words that you want to bring in or not bring in? If you're looking at moving from a recruitment agency to more of a consultancy, how do you describe yourself? And it's kind of looking at that. That's a big thing that I see a lot at the moment, because a lot of recruitment agencies are adapting, aren't they, to cope with the market that doesn't seem to be getting back to how everyone wanted it to be. So I think people are starting to adapt a lot and moving and changing what they're doing. And I think consistency is a big thing right now. Is if you are going to change, if you are looking at doing different things, make sure that what you're doing is consistent across all of your business, from internal to external to different platforms. When it's online or offline, it's that one word, consistency, basically.
Are you thinking more visual consistency? Because I was thinking, Chris, going back to the previous question when you say what do agencies get wrong, I think when they're setting out to do their marketing, they need to almost start with a blank sheet of paper and really write down what they're trying to say, how they're trying to say it, and to who, what their target audiences are. Really properly define what their marketing strategy is going to be. And that's part of it, Chris. What you said is getting the visuals and getting everything talking in the same visual and written language is absolutely a massive part of it. But a lot of agencies don't define who they are and what they're trying to say and to who. And I think that's a big mistake they can make. And good recruitment marketing, going back to the question Fiona asked, encompasses all of that. They know who they are. They know who they're trying to target. They're doing it in a very strategic manner, getting all the visuals and written and communication consistent, like you say, Chris. And that's a really good recruitment marketing campaign, I think, is to get it ground up from the foundations, talking to the right people in the right way.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more I can add to that. It's knowing who you are, knowing who you want to talk to, what you want to achieve, and consistently applying the marketing to achieve that, and always asking the question, if what is the reason we are doing this? Does it align to the objectives? Does it align to what we want to try and achieve? And if it doesn't, then you question if you should be doing it. And that's what good day-to-day recruitment marketing looks like, is exactly like Rich have said. It's just, you got to start with the plan, and then you got to make sure everything in there is working towards those goals. None of this vanity, random stuff of we've seen a competitor do it, so we think we should do it, or let's do something funny because we want to try and go viral, because nobody knows if it's ever going to go viral until it actually happens. You can't plan that stuff. It's not getting distracted with all the sort of random day-to-day requests or kind of, silly little quips because we think we should maybe do it. It's always coming back to the plan, the goals. Does it all fit with that? Let's make sure everything's working towards it.
Yeah, I think we've all seen that, haven't we, when we've been doing marketing campaigns for clients where they come up with an idea and you jump onto it and it's off plan, and it's just a kind of a knee-jerk reaction. And the other big thing, going back to what Kat said earlier, is not understanding that these things take a long time to properly come to fruition. You've got to you're going to invest in your marketing over a long-term period, and it is that knee-jerk reaction when things are a little bit tight. They just see it as a cost. Recruiters see it sometimes as a cost saving. Oh, well, we don't need the marketing, because they think of it as something as simple as this social media. Right, we'll just cut that off and save X amount every month. And it's that sort of short-sighted thinking which is the biggest killer of successful marketing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
Sorry, Kat, am I interrupting you?
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, because then that leads on perfectly to our last question. So, you're all a really experienced team. So, in your opinion, what would be one piece of recruitment marketing advice that you would give to every recruitment business? If you were to give them one piece, what would it be?
Shall I start?
I could just follow. I can just follow on from what I said last time. You want decide what you want the market to know you for, and then make everything you do from a market perspective reinforce that, so that ultimately you get seen, trusted, and converted into business. And that's all I can say.
I love it. Chris, Kat, anything to add?
Do you want to go, Chris?
I would say one piece of advice, one thing to do, maybe. Speak to your clients and speak to your candidates and find out why people keep coming back to use you. So maybe this isn't a piece of advice, but maybe this is something to do.
Same thing.
I guess.
Practical advice. Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about, how we say, what you want to be remembered for is this, this, and this. But oftentimes, I bet we've all done this, right? We've probably done this exercise. What people think they're remembered for and what people think they are used for and why there's repeat business coming from clients and candidates is completely different to why they actually do. So some people are probably like, yeah, we have great price, or we have this, that, and the other. But then you speak to your clients, you speak to your candidates, and you say, why do you keep coming back and using us? Why are we your on your PSL? What is it that we do that you like? And 9 times out of 10, it's something that they haven't even considered as a business. And that's just one thing that I would do. Keep that in mind every 6 months, every 12 months, when you're relooking at what you're doing as a business. Get 5, 10 clients and just ask those questions. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And same to candidates, and kind of just look at that and that will help you guide your marketing campaigns, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they should just call us.
Yeah, they should just call ThinkinCircles.
ThinkinCircles, we're
Absolutely.
Here. But I mean, I think Chris and Richard have both made really good points. What else would I advise people, recruitment businesses to do? I think kind of keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. I think sometimes recruitment businesses, particularly where there's not really been marketing in place before, can try and overcomplicate it in the early stages. And I think kind of looking at, getting the basics right first, kind of, like Richard said, having the direction in place. The direction is really important. Like Chris said, looking at what you are doing right and what you're not doing right, doing some kind of audit on your activities and kind of understanding where the quick wins are, where the gaps are, where the opportunities are, so important. And whether that's someone internally doing that or probably better someone externally, because I can come in it with a fresh pair of eyes. But then when you do get going, just start with the basics and build yourselves up. Rome wasn't built in a day. And you've got to just sometimes take your time and understand it's a long-term process and build up from there and kind of learn what's working and learn what's not working.
Yeah. Just following on from that, one of the things that I think that businesses in general, recruitment businesses especially, you need to give marketing a seat at the table. So marketing should be, again, involved with you at your boardroom table. They should understand what your business goals are. Again, that integration from a marketing understanding point of view is so important, because if that doesn't happen, everything just kind of goes into different directions, and that is the death knell of any marketing department. So anyway, so on that jolly note, that brings us to the end of today's discussion. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've come away with with a clearer understanding of the role that recruitment marketing should play within your business. If you'd like to continue the conversation, you can download James's free ebook, Own the Conversation, and the link is in the description. And for more recruitment marketing insights, I really highly recommend that you subscribe to our newsletter, Inside the Circles. You'll also find that in the description of this podcast. And if there's anything that you particularly want us to take a look at or discuss as a team that you'd like us to cover in future sessions, let us know in the comments. And I think that's everything. And I just want to thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next month. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.